If you spend the whole day responding, you can still end the day feeling like you never really led. The staffing issue mattered, the parent concern mattered, the student incident mattered, the well-being need, it mattered, one meeting after another that mattered. The meeting that became operational probably mattered too. But when the whole day is organized around response, leadership begins to drift into what I call leadership in triage. It starts as responsible response. Something needs attention, so the leader responds. A risk appears, so the leader acts. A problem escalates, so the leader intervenes. In the moment, the response may be exactly what's needed. The danger begins when triage stops being a moment and becomes the rhythm of the role. Triage is not strategy. When triage becomes the rhythm, leaders become oriented towards what has escalated rather than what has been chosen. Strategic commitments remain important, but immediate needs carry more emotional force. They become easier to answer, easier to justify, and harder to postpone. Mintzberg helps explain why this feels so familiar. Leadership work is already fragmented by interruptions, brief interactions, and incomplete information. In schools, that fragmentation is intensified by emotion, risk, trust, student needs, staff capacity, and community pressure. Urgency overload deepens that fragmentation. The leader learns to scan constantly. What needs attention? What could escalate? Who needs a decision? What's become visible? Those questions belong in leadership, but when they dominate leadership, strategic attention begins to thin. Busyness can disguise drift. The calendar's full, the work is real, the need is legitimate, but strategy is losing ground. A culture building rarely arrives as a deadline. Trust rarely sends a red-flagged email, and capacity building rarely interrupts the morning demanding attention. The work that most shapes a school often has to be protected before it becomes urgent. Heifetz gives us a useful language here. Triage pulls leaders towards technical response because technical response produces visible relief. A problem appears, a leader answers. A conflict escalates, the leader intervenes. A decision is needed, the leader decides. The organization experiences relief, and relief can feel like progress. But relief is not always progress. Over time, the organization can learn the wrong lesson. Bring the pressure high enough, and the leader will carry it. That is where triage begins to shape culture. People learn what gets escalated, they learn what gets attention, they learn whether the leader is the default resolver, and they learn whether strategy can be interrupted. So the practical move is to look for triage drift. And the Triage Drift Map has 3 zones. Escalation, which is what keeps reaching you. These are the issues that repeatedly rise to the leader because escalation has become the path of movement. Displacement, which is what keeps disappearing. These are the strategic commitments that keep being postponed because they don't arrive urgently. And dependency. Dependency is where the system has learned to rely on your immediate response, and this is where the leader's availability becomes a substitute for shared capacity. And together, these 3 zones show where triage is no longer an event. It's become a pattern. Where has response replaced intention? That is a leadership question. Where are we escalating? What is being displaced? Where has the system become dependent on immediate response? Triage asks, what needs attention now? Strategy asks, what condition would reduce this response again? Leadership returns when response serves intention again. Leaders remain present, they keep caring, but they stop allowing every escalation to define the center. This is one of the patterns that I unpack in the full leadership paper, The Sustainability Myth, How Great Leaders Protect What Matters When Everything is a Priority, and you can download it through the link in the description. Protect the work that does not arrive urgently.